There's a lot of different ways to make your images look good, different ways to compose them, different theories, different methods, different styles. What I want to do in this video is a study session. We're going to look at a variety of different artists and specifically great examples of centralized, often symmetrical composition. This is a really simple way of composing your images that I think can be really powerful, both for creating professional illustrations at the highest level and also as a really neat, unique way to kind of learn how to make something simple yet effective. Now, as usual for a Drawing Codex video, this is going to be neither fast-paced nor heavily edited. This is just you and me. We're going to check out some art books, look at some examples of composition, talk illustration theory, and see what we can learn. Hopefully that sounds interesting. Hopefully you'll join me. Let's jump in and get started. Alright, welcome to the Drawing Codex. My name is Tim McBurney. I've been a professional working artist for over 20 years, and on this channel, we're all about drawing cool stuff from our imagination, embracing the challenge of drawing, and mastering the craft of line and color illustration. Now, if you'd like to learn more about illustration and picture making, you can check out my free illustration mini workshop. It charts my journey going from an amateur to a professional, and I talk a lot about really important issues such as how to get more detail and polish in your work, how to plan your images, create thumbnails, and also a few thoughts on how to approach being a professional artist. As I said, it's free. The link will be in the description. Go check it out if that's something you're interested in. Okay, so we've got a bunch of different art books here that we're just going to look at and use as examples of centralized composition. You can see this in action here with often what they have picked. And often this is one of the interesting things is they do often pick these for the cover. Here we got a great Brom art book, one of my sort of favorite early art books that I bought, Darkworks. And this is just a perfect example of how this style of imagery always works. It's super graphic and it has a huge amount of impact. And I think it's something that's really good to master. But first, let's check out a lot of the theory that underpins this, where we can see this theory demonstrated in Andrew Loomis's creative illustration. Now, if we look at creative illustration, we can see that it has a huge variety of different ways that it talks about to create and organize images and illustrations. People are often asking me, even when I sort of call out what this book is, they're like, what is that book with all the cool little theories of illustration in the beginning? This is a great sort of cross-section in general, this book that talks about a huge variety of different elements of illustration, including color and sort of tonal patterns, tonal layouts. I think it's just really excellently sort of done and laid out. But the beginning, I think, is really interesting because it talks about different ways that you can sort of create symmetry with like formal design. You can use line and contrast and the fact that how important sort of overlapping line and using sort of directional line to kind of lead the eye can be. And I think one of the things is in the beginning, often we can be easily overwhelmed by all the different options and all the different things that you can use. When it comes to illustration, I think though often when you're creating a single image, we're really just thinking about like, what is the thing that's going to make this work? Or like, what is a really easy, simple way to make an image? The more of this you learn, the better you're going to be able to express yourself as an artist, as an illustrator. But I think it's easy to overlook some of these really simple ways of making images. Not simple in terms of the drawing, but simple in terms of the conceptual idea. And what I'm focusing on here is the idea of this kind of formal subdivision, symmetrical composition, these kind of like formalized, centralized compositions that I think can actually be really, really powerful. And obviously you can, add a little bit of finesse to this. You can add some asymmetry, but it just speaks to the power of a simple, direct, centralized composition and just the power of symmetry as a way to sort of organize the image. Now, there are a huge variety of other ways of composing images, and he kind of actually talks about, I don't know whether this is his idea, Loomis's idea, but, talking about informal subdivision, which is where you kind of just draw a whole bunch of different lines and stuff. And I guess the real thing is that often I really thought in the beginning that the more complicated it was, like the more complicated it was to kind of do the composition, like the better it was. And I think what I've sort of come to understand is often simplicity is really, really good. And there's many, many different ways to make images depending on what you need to say. But often, again, just simple, direct, symmetrical, centralized, powerful compositions can be really, really good. And that's what we're kind of looking at today. A good example of this is H.R. Geiger. And you can see that, and this is one of those things, as I said, often you will find that really direct, powerful, centralized symmetrical compositions get used on covers. And there's so many different options, right? Like one of the books that I kind of have here, actually, that I can just grab. I was going to include this, but I didn't, because often I'm sort of putting too many Frazetta covers and things. But here's like Frazetta book cover art, and like literally of all the different Frazetta covers that you could pick, the one that gets picked is, again, like highly symmetrical. It's just direct. It's basically like a very similar type of design to, right, what you see here. And it's just that this creates a lot of impact. And often when it comes to thinking about, creating covers and creating all these sort of different ideas, we often, I think anyway, you let me know in the comments down below, but I think we often overlook the simplicity here of what can sort of work. And I think what you sort of find is that often the images that do get sort of represented as sort of posters, or that we kind of remember of someone like Geiger, are these kind of like symmetrical poster designs. This stuff kind of always tends to work, and it's often what we sort of remember from that kind of artist, because it is sort of iconic and it just works really, really well. If you look at some more sort of contemporary illustration, here we got a copy of Spectrum 20, and this is just, I'm just going to sort of like use this as an example of, some cool ways where we can sort of see this utilized, because these are all sort of images that are normally done for professional work, and you can kind of see how powerful these are. Here we got a great illustration by Jason Chan, one of my favorite artists. And, you can just see how direct and simple that is. Again, we often overlook the simplicity of just graphic centralized composition. And I think when you look at a lot of illustration, you can really see this kind of playing out over the years, right? Again, another great centralized composition. Another one of my favorite artists, Matthew Lafray. Great French comic book artist, and also a really, really talented painter and concept artist. Someone I always looked up to because of just the breadth of his sort of skill. And here you can see another really sort of solid, centralized composition. Again, there's some sophistication to it. I'm not saying that these are all those kind of like symmetrical ideas, but you can kind of see how often, here we got some other great examples by Laurie Lee Brom and Cirillo. And again, you can just see how often this type of imagery will really work, and, has like a great sense of finished illustration. Always works really nicely. I think this one was also a really good example by Ed Binkley. And you can see, it's just like a picture of a character, but it has so much purpose, right? Because of the sort of simple centralized composition. You'll often see again, like that triangular composition works pretty well. It's often like used extensively, but these are just a couple of examples I was kind of looking at and just sort of saying, hey, within all of these illustrations that have these kind of, like various ways that they're designed to be sort of really good, there's so many different ways to succeed, but often again, simplicity wins, right? And, here's a great sort of cover, and, also just basic character front on, again, always works. Someone else who I think really does a good job of explaining and illustrating this is J.C. Leyendecker. Now, this is, one of the godfathers of sort of modern illustration, and you can really see how this kind of idea is utilized in so many of these covers. And I think this idea of centralized, simple, strong, sort of iconic covers and illustration, again, is so often used because it just does work as like posters, as covers, something that's really going to sort of draw your eye. It seems very intentional. Here you can see a great example, right? Like very iconic, very symbolic, but this kind of always works. Here we got some other examples. Again, not this one quite so much, but very simple, centralized, right? Like basic, almost symmetrical compositions. And I think once you kind of understand like, how this kind of works, again, you can add a little bit of, sophistication to it. Right, this is obviously much more sort of sophisticated. It has a different way that this was probably more like Loomis's sort of informal, right, subdivision. It's kind of lining up a lot of different things. It's working on many different levels, but yeah, you can see how often Leyendecker uses this really sort of simple image plan and how it often works really nicely. So here we got some good examples on this page, right? great sort of example here where you can just sort of see, again, like from a simple thumbnail point of view, that really sort of jumps off the page. So many of these are also, even when there's slight asymmetry, are really relying on that kind of monolithic, simple, centralized image plan, right? And again, there's so many ways where, not everything fits into a particular category, but yeah, this is one of these things that often gets overlooked when, we're trying to get fancy, we're trying to sort of show what we can do. And the other thing is, when you sort of combine a, simple centralized figure, you can often add a huge amount of dynamism by sort of, again, breaking it up with some sort of abstract background, making abstract foreground, background. This is something I've often found works really well. And yeah, again, really graphic, simple, strong illustrations. I think that often there is like a purposefulness to these that works really well, and it often makes it feel like it has great illustrative quality to kind of just purposefully make something a little bit abstract like this. Probably the place that I noticed this most early on, as I sort of talked about in a couple of videos previously, is with Brom's art. Gerald Brom. Here I've got Darkworks by Brom. And this is, one of the sort of early books that I kind of picked up. And, I would always kind of notice that, there was just these really simple sort of graphic, almost mixing, abstract graphic design style backgrounds with a character. But I felt that they had a huge amount of mood and they were always a great character portrait. And I would always look back and just kind of remember Brom's great illustration and kind of think like, hey, like, why does that work, right? It's so graphic, so simple. But again, it works kind of every time. And this would always be one of these things where it would kind of, I would be kind of trying to do stuff, I guess, was a bit more like this, right? And again, it just points to, there's many ways to make amazing images. This is certainly an amazing image as well. There's no right or wrong or good or better or whatever. But again, I was always trying to create more dynamism, more depth, and, subsequently often, I was biting off more than I could chew when I was sort of practicing illustration early on. And I would kind of just always sort of sleep on this type of simple graphic breakup, right? And again, when thinking about creating covers and things for professional projects, here's another great couple of examples, right? Again, the simplicity and the graphic nature of this is often just sort of so powerful. And I think there is a degree where this is an interesting concept where you can make these images that feel very posed and very graphic. And there's something, I think, fun about that allows people to suspend their disbelief. And it makes it really clear this is an illustration, that this is fantasy. And I think there's just something fun about that concept in general, as opposed to trying to sort of pretend that we are, kind of drawing this scene, right? There's something that I think is unique about illustration where you can kind of just sort of make stuff up and combine elements and have these abstract compositions where like there's a figure, there's a background, there's sort of stuff there, and it creates a very strong feeling and mood. That I think is sort of very affecting. And I think, again, often we get sort of trapped into thinking a little bit more as if we need to sort of create scenes and make sure everything is sort of dynamic. And again, simplicity often does a really, really good job. And I think Brom is just one of the best examples of this. And again, I just need to point this out. If you kind of look, often this is the case that if you kind of have all of the different images that could be picked, it is often, again, something super symmetrical, super strong, super centralized that often ends up on the cover, which is just something interesting to contemplate. So that's all I got for this one. Just a short little expose on what I think is a really sort of fun look, this is a random idea, right? It's like, pay attention to centralized composition. I made a couple of videos on this already, but I think that so often we kind of overlook these really basic ideas and we think as artists that we need to do this, we need to do that. And often, as you've seen with those covers, one of the best ways to create impact, to practice your craft, practice your illustration, and often what may make it onto your sort of finished artwork is like, this is the thing that's going to represent you, is a really simple idea, right? It's just a character posed front on. There's nothing too fancy about it. We're not playing with heaps of anatomy, but yet we're still able to express a huge amount through the illustrative quality of our work. And I think the more we appreciate this, the better as artists. Now, if you want to learn how to maybe think about composing one of your images, how to think about thumbnailing and kind of figuring out what goes where, you can check out this video because I talk about my process for thumbnailing a scene and thinking about the story. We're not dealing quite so much with centralized composition, but I think it might be something that is interesting if you're thinking about planning your illustrations.